Police say a gunman walked down the aisle of the sanctuary.
It happens
About 100 people were inside the church at the time of the shooting.
more often than you might expect.
Witnesses say Atkinson pulled a 12-gauge shotgun out of a guitar case and opened fire during a children's performance.
250 people have died on church property in the last 10 years.
Irving police hope this is a wake-up call.
Already this year in 2010, about a half a dozen people have been killed on church property.
None of those crimes has happened in the city of Irving, and police want to keep it that way.
Church violence is out there.
That's why Irving police hosted this seminar at Calvary Church.
We must use our spiritual weapons as much as our physical weapons.
To bring attention to the problem of church violence.
We organized this church safety seminar as kind of a service to our community and the surrounding communities to help educate people on ways to make their church facilities safer.
I was the father of a beautiful 7-year-old daughter in 1980. She died during the public worship service that June the 22nd of 1980 while we worshiped.
Lanny Lynham shares the story of what happened to his daughter at his East Texas church with anyone who will listen, and he wrote about it in a book. Lynham hopes people will learn from what he has endured.
What we've been trying to do is bring in some of the real facts about what happens when we don't take church security seriously.
Wisconsin 2005, man comes in, shoots all these bullets, he reloads, and nobody jumped him.
Hearst police officer Jimmy Meeks is also a minister. He says sometimes church leaders and churchgoers can think their security measures go against their mission to be welcoming, warm, and accepting. But in his interpretation, it doesn't have to be.
There's a lot of stuff in the Bible that says, hey, pay attention.
If you tackle him, you cannot use your arms to take him down. You must use the whole body.
But we're not advocating violence. We're not advocating arm everybody with guns. Not into that.
Scream, holler, plead the blood, whatever you think to do.
We're into, is there any way we could start paying more attention to what's going on around us?
We say, God, well, all these church shootings. Maybe he says, you tell me, I've told you to fix it.
He says it is up to everyone to address the problem. The most simple measure can be the most effective. Establish an eyes and ears team.
Their primary job is to be the eyes and ears of the church while the service is going on. Their job is to be in the parking lot, to be in the foyer, to be in the Sunday school areas, to watch over the children while everybody else is occupied with the service.
Suspicious behavior in the parking lot, in the foyer. If you pay attention there, you may not have anything in the sanctuary.
It is a simple precaution that he says can make a big difference.
If you look at church shootings, for instance, in the last few years, many of these churches, almost all of them, had nothing in place to thwart, impede, or hinder an attack. There was no security there.
Although church shootings are rare, the Eyes and Ears team can help reduce more common crimes that can happen in any crowded parking lot, such as car burglaries.
Hopefully some of these men and women are going back saying, we need to pay more attention. Stuff is happening. It is happening all over this country.
Other aspects of a church security system might include an intercom and video surveillance that can be used to monitor who enters the office during the week when maybe only 1 or 2 people are working, lighting around the building and in the parking lot, and paying attention to people who might pose a risk, such as those in unstable domestic situations or the mentally ill.
I learned that church violence is happening all over the country, and it's even more frequent now. And so we have to be very careful, and have to also have church eyes and ears, to be able to help us identify issues and work to resolve them quickly.
Carrie Barnes of Irving's Dayspring Family Church is going to share the idea of an Eyes and Ears team with his fellow church leaders.
I didn't, prior to this conference, that I didn't know this was how important it is to secure the lot. To make sure that that's the first line of defense, and we should have someone there watching and monitoring all the time.
Lives are at stake.
Jimmy Meeks wants to make sure people don't think shootings are something that could never happen in their own congregation.
Bad things could happen. They happened when Jesus was preaching.
So he is spreading what he says his own spiritual studies have taught him, that it's not against biblical message to take security seriously.
Solomon said a wise man foresees danger and takes the necessary precautions. Why can't churches wake up and do that?